18 minutes past 8 o'clock on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Bill Radke with Linda Thomas and Tom Tangney, and this is the sound we've been listening to this morning. Students at Penn State, I think it's fair to call it a riot last night, tearing up streetlights, news car overturned, objects, beer bottles, fruit for some reason thrown.
Police had to use tear gas to break up the crowd.
All in an outrage over the firing of the school's football coach, Joe Paterno. So to briefly recap that situation, Joe Paterno, the head coach, was told that his former assistant coach had been seen in a shower, campus facility shower, sexually molesting a young boy. The coach passed this news on to his athletic director, but that's about it as far as we know. Didn't call the police, didn't push to make sure that this was investigated and that this guy was removed from the campus.
And Paterno said that earlier this week he would, in fact, retire at the end of the season. Right. That changed late yesterday when they decided, no, you're gone, you're out.
That's right. So one of our former interns here at 97.3 KIRO FM, Sarah Espinoza, is a student at Penn State, works on the student newspaper that's trying to cover all of this. And Sarah, I understand you were at the rioting last night?
Yeah, I was.
What happened and why? Help us understand.
It was really crazy. It got out of control very fast. First, it started at Old Main, which is right outside the administrative offices, and it quickly moved to the streets. And at Penn State, our streets are very small, very compact, and to put that many students in a place where there's a lot of emotions going, it's kind of a recipe for disaster. Very quickly, the police came out, and they were in full riot uniforms. People were getting maced. I believe, as you said, there was a news van that was actually overturned. There were 4 light poles that went down and got shattered into the crowds. I think people were just really frustrated. The aggregate mood among the students is, like I said, anger, frustration, and sadness. There were tears when the Board of Trustees first announced that Graham Spanier and Joe Pa were going to be out. And also, I think the riot was not only caused by the anger of the ruling, but also it was a way to get out anger against Sandusky. A majority of the chants were against
That's
him.
the suspect.
Yes, the suspect.
Sarah?
He is
Sarah, I would like to ask, so now I understand there may have been as many as 2,000 involved last night, but Penn State is a big campus. There are tens of thousands of students. Do you think those 2,000 or so represent the general campus populace, or are they sort of a vocal minority?
You know what, I do think they are the vocal minority, and even out of those 2,000 students, most of us were there just to see what happened, because this is our school. We want to be a part of whatever that was, a riot or a rally, because 20 years from now, we want to say that we were there. And there were just a select few people who ruined it for all of us, and sadly that was what was covered. At Old Main, for example, what was not covered was there were a whole bunch of students sitting down and having a prayer circle, and nobody saw that. Also, we were singing the alma mater arm in arm, and again, no one saw that.
Sarah, how has this incident changed the way you view your school?
You know what? We are Penn State. I think we're going to get through this, and we are such a great institution, in my opinion, that although these people ruined that for us, and there was such tremendous lack of oversight that went on, we will get through this, and we are a great university. All our hearts go out to the victims, and those crimes that were committed are far more devastating than the outcome and the frustration of losing our Penn State idols, and students are realizing that. So I think our institution is still good.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering is, at least at Penn State, will all of this make the students and all the people in that community more sensitive, more aware, more likely to tear off veils of secrecy, even given the anger at the national disgrace and the losing possibly of a prestigious sports program?
Definitely. I think whoever comes in, steps in as president after Jeremy Spanier has left, will have to be squeaky clean. And people will be more sensitive because it can't happen again. This is about the victims, and we need to refocus. I think after the embarrassment of last night, students are really realizing that that has to be true.
Sarah Espinoza, former intern here at KIRO and now at Penn State. Sarah, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
23 minutes after 8. Coming up on the morning news, so the